Coming up on this Thursday morning edition of DITV, Governor Reynolds appoints a new Iowa Supreme Court justice. Stay tuned for details.
And later, we take you inside Iowa City's hidden comedy scene.
One Hawkeye team accomplished a record that has not been touched since before Megan Gustafson or I was born.
Stay tuned for more coming up in sports.
Will we be finally getting a break from all of this snow and get a little bit of warmer temperatures? Stay tuned for weather to find out.
All that more is coming up on this Thursday morning edition of DITV.
Don't go anywhere. DITV starts right now.
Good morning, thank you for tuning in. I'm Sydney Zack.
And I'm Anthony Caligari. On Wednesday, Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds named the Iowa's newest Supreme Court justice. Reynolds chose Christopher McDonald, who will be the state's first person of color to serve on the Iowa Supreme Court. McDonald is a Vietnamese American born in Thailand during the Vietnam War. He and his mother moved around until finally settling down in Des Moines. Before yesterday's appointment, he had his own legal practice and served on the Iowa Court of Appeals. McDonald graduated from law school from the University of Iowa.
Johnson County's fiscal budget estimate for the year 2020 includes many changes for its cities. Among these changes are funding for a new crisis intervention project, affordable housing, and 12 new county positions. Some of the new job positions will come from a new ambulance unit and a new urgent care center in North Liberty. A public hearing is set to take place next week where residents can discuss the changes. To read more about this budget details, you can pick up a copy of our print edition where Daily Iowa reporter Andy Mitchell goes into more detail.
Two University of Iowa physicists are using a multi-million-dollar grant from NASA. UI professors George Hopdrosky and David Miles will spend 3 years designing and creating an instrument to measure the magnetic wavelengths in space. Both of them will combine the two existing devices to create one single device for a mission in 3 years. Other scientists have tried to make similar instruments, but this project will be a new way of creating it.
And if you're in need of a laugh, this secret monthly event has you covered. DITV Arts and Culture reporter Kaylin Cluck gives us a special look at Iowa City's underground comedy scene.
When it comes to stand-up comedy, it's one of the best places to perform in town. But it's not at a bar or club. It's in the living room of an Iowa City house.
Welcome to the February Secret Show.
It's known as Secret Stand-Up. About once a month, University of Iowa students pack into the small space to watch aspiring comedians perform.
I know it's been around for at least 5 years, and originally it was in an attic, and it might have even been in a basement before that, but it started out as such a small thing and it's just sort of grown into something that is really special and awesome.
Anyone who wants to try it can sign up in advance and take their spot at the mic.
The audience is a lot larger than it is at other mics in town. And in general, the audience here, as well as the comedians, are a lot younger.
It's a Valentine's Day show, which means you're either here because you're single and lonely, or you're here to laugh at people who are single and lonely.
Yeah! Audience members pay a $2 admission fee at the door before the show starts. Over the years, Secret Stand-Up has gained sort of a cult following of fans.
This year we're hovering around 50 to 60, which is ideal. Last month we had 90, which was crazy.
It gets a little ridiculous. We have 30 seats, and then we've got a couch. And then we've had to fit 56 more people somewhere.
The show is currently held at third-year UI student Griffin Murray's house, after previous hosts passed the mic down to him.
I'm a computer science major, which is not something you hear. Is anyone here a computer science major? No. One! Yes. Good on you! You left! You left your house. I didn't. Not many of us do.
I was talking to this guy the other day. He was like, I have a really high pain tolerance. And I was like, cool, I don't know what to do with that information.
I don't know if any of you guys noticed, but Valentine's Day on Tinder was wild.
You'll find people are a lot more supportive here, and it's a lot friendlier of an environment, especially more so than you might see at an open mic.
It's like high risk, high reward.
He was, like touching my shoulder, the mating call of our generation.
If you weren't nervous, you wouldn't feel so great afterwards.
The show is designed not only to showcase new talent, but also help you meet new people.
We have an intermission even though we do not need an intermission. And we try to provide as much time as possible for people just to talk to each other and have a good time.
So secret stand-up might not be as much of a secret anymore, but more laughter can't be a bad thing.
Like, I'm now extroverted when I used to be introverted. It's been one of the best things for me personal growth-wise.
Because if somebody has the courage to get up here to do stand-up for the first time, we want to make it the best and most respectful experience for them possible.
Reporting from Secret Stand-Up, Kaylin Clark, DITV News.
University of Iowa professor and researcher Paul Romedy found connections between heart defects and climate change. Romedy and other colleagues are part of a larger 15-year study on birth defects. The study shows that Midwestern states, including Iowa, are at risk for extreme heat exposures and heat waves, meaning there could be a higher risk for heart defects. Romedy told the Daily Iowan, quote, "If we know this information, it can be useful for policymakers and preparing and allocating all resources for adapting climate change," end quote.
And on a colder note, as a result of this winter's severe weather conditions, Iowa City might run out of ice melting salt for the roads. Iowa City Superintendent Brock Holb says if another shipment does not come soon, the city will run out in the middle of next week's snow events. The Iowa City School District normally receives its salt from the city, but was rejected because of the short supply. Holb added that the city will move from a 50-50 mix of sand and salt to a mixture closer to 25 to 33%. And Anthony, around my apartment, you sure need salt nowadays. I was actually surprised that the 3-6 inches we were expecting this weekend, it turned into about an inch or so.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Sydney. We kind of got lucky with that last storm, and let's see if that luck will continue. We have Melissa standing by in the weather studio to tell us all about it. Melissa?
The forecast is looking pretty clear of snow for the next couple of days. Today's going to be partly cloudy with a high of 20 and a low of 12, and very light winds around 5 miles per hour. Those same winds are going to stick around into tonight, and the temperature is going to drop to 12 degrees. Now let's look at the extended forecast. As you can see, temperatures will mostly remain above 30 on Friday and Saturday, and then drop as we get further into the week. Friday, we have a high of 35 and a low of 31, with winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, there's an 80% chance of rain, and on Saturday, temperatures are going to stay in the upper 30s, with a 100% chance of rain and occasional strong wind gusts. As the temperatures drop throughout the day, that rain could potentially turn into snow. On Sunday, temperatures will remain in the 20s, with strong winds. On Monday, temperatures drop to the upper teens, and on Tuesday, temperatures will increase into the upper 20s again. Anthony and Sydney, back to you at the desk.
This month marks 10 years since the First Tech program. First Tech was introduced to the University of Iowa to engage middle school and high school students in STEM-related career fields such as science, technology, engineering, and math. The program is partnered with the College of Engineering, and tomorrow and Saturday, more than 450 Iowa high school students will represent 48 different teams and participate in the First Tech Challenge competition in Coralville.
University of Iowa admissions director Thomas Paulson told the Daily Iowan that last fall semester, 62% of its first-year students entered the UI with dual credit, and that Iowa leads the country in the number of students entering the university with college credits because of this increase. Because of this increase, the Office of Admissions is now holding sessions covering dual credit for potential students and their parents. These sessions will educate students on how to enter college with dual credits that can help them their transition from freshman to freshman year. Well, Sydney, it sounds like we kind of have an exciting weekend coming up in Hawkeye sports.
That's right, but we shouldn't be the ones to tell you all about it. We have Zach and Kate in the sports studio with all your latest updates. Guys, take it away.
Yeah, buzzer beaters aren't the only thing that Hawkeye fans need to get excited for.
That's right, Cade. One gym hawk got a near perfect score on her full routine this weekend after battling one of the most difficult injuries for a gymnast. We have women's gymnastics beat reporter Kimberly Bates with more.
Freshman Lauren Guerin was one of 3 gym hawks who landed a 9.9 floor routine this past Saturday. Unlike the other girls, Lauren's score was more than just a number to her. Before coming to Iowa, Lauren faced a hardship that no athlete ever wants to face.
So basically I tore my rotator cuff, labrum, and biceps tendon, and it was definitely a lot more than they were expecting it to be, because I still had full range motion, could still do everything. So they didn't expect it to be as bad as it was.
With over a year of consistent physical therapy and modified training, her shoulder is just starting to feel close to normal.
Like, of course, it's never going to be like exactly the same, but it's finally like getting back to where it used to be, which is incredible.
And for Lauren, leaving gymnastics behind was never even an option.
It doesn't really matter how bad it was. I was always going to find a way to push through, and I always have.
And with the support of her teammates and Coach Libby, she could not be more confident in her gymnastics than she is right now.
Probably my best performance and definitely the most confident I've ever been in my tumbling and skills just in general. So just having her be so proud of me is just really fulfilling.
Reporting from the Fieldhouse, this has been Kimberly Bates with DITV Sports.
Lauren and the Gym Hawks head to Toledo, Ohio this weekend for the Big 5 tournament.
Moving from a top 25 matchup to a top 3 matchup, the third-ranked Hawkeye wrestling team will travel to Stillwater to take on number 2 Oklahoma State on Sunday.
This is one of the most historic rivalries in college wrestling, and here's what Tom and company had to say about this showdown.
I'm just going to tell my teammates, keep your head. We got a lot of wrestling to do, Big Tens and Nationals, so you don't want to get thrown out or anything, and fight the good fight type of thing. Stay in your match, just worry about your match, and when someone else is wrestling, just stay calm, because the only thing you can do is just support them when they come off the mat. That's all you can do. So,
well, I just think the team's trying to come together, and like Tom said, our best wrestling is yet to come. That's cool. We believe in that. We believe that we peak correctly for the right times, and right now this is what we're focused on is this week. Focus on this match, and we're getting ready to go for an awesome match against a very historic team and a very tough team in Oklahoma State.
And this is one of those things, it should be live, prime time, ESPN, but it's not. When you got guys like Alex Marinelli who represent themselves, put him on ESPN prime time. Not the Deuce, not the Trey, not the 4, not the 5, not the Ocho in that movie. But put us on ESPN.
I'm all for you need to put them on ESPN.
I completely agree with you, Zach, but there's actually another Hawkeye team that should really be featured on ESPN.
That is correct, Cade. The Iowa women's basketball team just moved into the number 10 spot in the AP and coaches poll this week. This is the first time the Hawks have been ranked top 10 since December of 1996. Here's what the team has to say about this accomplishment.
But it's just really exciting, and that's kind of what you dream about when you're a little girl wanting to play in college basketball, is being among the elite. So it's really cool. We just want to keep climbing.
It's really exciting. That hasn't happened since the year I was born. It really is exciting, just to see our hard work really pay off, and we just got to keep it going.
We don't lose our focus just because we went up to number 10 in the country in the rankings. Instead, we're going to let that sharpen us. Pay attention to the things that we can control, like sleep, hydration, nutrition. Keeping good tabs on those things late in the season, I think, is really important to teams as they start to wear down.
Just need to focus on the game ahead of us in Indiana, and they're a solid team. They've struggled recently, but we know what they're capable of, so we're going to go into full focus and try to get the win.
But it is special, but it's something that we want to go in to Indiana and act like that top 10 team.
As the Hawks said, they will be in Assembly Hall tonight to take on the Indiana Hoosiers in one of their last go-arounds in Big Ten play.
But that is it for us in the sports studio today. Be sure to tune in tomorrow morning to hear from DITV Sports Director Lucy Rodine and her breakdown of the Iowa men's basketball Friday night matchup against Indiana in their courtside show.
Sydney and Anthony, back to you.
Thanks, guys. And before we leave you today, we have one last story for you all. Yesterday, New York Senator Christian Gillibrand tweeted about a UI student she previously encountered at the airliner.
In a 17-second video that went viral on Twitter, UI senior Hannah Kinney works her way through the crowded Gillibrand's campaign event, but it wasn't to see the candidate.
Yesterday, the senator tweeted, quote, "2 important things I know about Iowa. The caucus goers are engaged and wonderful and never get between a Midwesterner and their ranch. Pizza's on me next time on my trip to Iowa City."
I don't blame Hannah. Airliner has some pretty good ranch. I mean, it sounds like a package idea, best ranch in Iowa City.
You're right, Sydney. You can't, like she said, can't get between us and our ranch, so.
So that brings us to Thursday morning edition DITV to an end. Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news.
For DITV, I'm Anthony Caligiuri.
And I'm Sydney Zatz. Have a great day.